Hello everyone and welcome back to our building series. In this series we're going through the process of how to make a building crafting system. Previously we set up our menu system to work by clicking on options here to build blocks and having an inventory that you can choose from to see. Okay, so what we're going to do next is make it so that we can spend this inventory on blocks. So what we need to do first of all is build up a data structure and data table to allow us to know what is going to be in each of these items here and what are the ingredients required to build them. So let's get started with that. So I'm going to go and create, I might do it all in here, the inventory folder here, and we're going to create a new data structure. And we're going to do this one as block structure. I'm going to open this up. So this thing's going to have a name, which is going to be a text. We're going to have a thumbnail. And these are all the details required for the individual blocks that we're putting down into the world. So we've got thumbnail here. And your requirements for your own one may be differing from this one slightly. But for now, this should be quite generic. So we've got name, thumbnail, description. And with that text as well. And we'll do another one here for ingredients. Okay, so ingredients is going to be slightly different. So ingredients is going to be a name, but turned into a map. And the second half of that map type is going to be a integer. Now this is going to refer to our item data table. So we have the name of the item, and or the row name essentially of the item, and how many we need to craft this block here. So, for example, if we put in wood and 3, it means we need 3 wood. So look up this wood item here and know what you want to do. So we have that there. Oh, by the way. So item name, thumbnail, mesh. No, item structure. That's what I want. Block structure. There we go. So we've got name, thumbnail, description, ingredients, and I think that'll do. I think we'll leave it like that. Hit save and close that. Then we can make a data table. So this would be a sort of library of all the various blocks that we can have in our world. So we're going to go quick add new, miscellaneous data table, and lastly you pick a structure, and we use the block one we just made. And click OK. And we call this one block data table. Open this up. So now we're putting all the various blocks that we can build in our game. So let's add the first one. The first one is going to be called the standard block. I don't have a thumbnail, so I'll leave it blank for now. Description, we'll put in something simple. This is the most basic building block in your inventory. Use it well to craft various structures. Whatever you want to put. And the ingredients for this, we can put a add symbol, and we'll put in the name of our item. Now, you want to make sure you spell it exactly the same as this row name here. Not the item name, the row name. So we're going to do wood, and it's going to cost 5 wood, and hit save. And we can add another one here, and we'll do I don't know, we'll call it the steel block. And we'll describe it as much more resilient than your basic standard building block. Costs a fair bit though. And the ingredients for this one are going to be wood, and we'll call it 10, and metal, or in this case, yeah, metal, and we'll do 4 metal. Okay, save and close that. Well, not close it yet, sorry. We have to change the row name. So the row name here is set new row and new row 0. So we're going to change the name of these to be whatever you want. So I'm going to do block. We'll do standard. Standard underscore block. You want this to be no spaces and keep it simple. So all lowercase, for example. You leave your fancy stuff for your name of your block here. This is just going to be the sort of reference ID. And we'll call this one still block. Hit save, and now we're done. So we've got a block data table which holds all the data that we need for our menu. So let's go into our menu interface here, and we're going to go build menu content. So here we manually place these. So we want to make this a bit more dynamic and just go through the whole entire data table, adding the various blocks we have here. But we need to determine whether or not they're available to us and so forth. So we'll worry about in a second. Let's just get it builds these buttons in. So the buttons are here. And on this graph here, we are... well, wrong. There you go. So on here, we can set the text and texture and everything else based on these variables here. Now we want to make sure these are all exposed on spawn because we'll be using these as part of this. On the block recipe though, we're going to change that from text to a name. Change type and close that. We'll just get rid of the text here for a second. And the recipe will be a name, but also a map with integer being the quantity. So the idea is that we're going to use this to build the ingredient list of our set text here. So let's go about doing that. So for that, I want to make a function. So let's go up to where we have functions. I'm going to call build ingredient list. Okay, so on this, we're going to take the block recipe, get, and we're going to go through all the keys we have in here. So keys, and place that down. We are then going to do a for each loop on each of these keys. So for each ingredient that we have inside our block here, we're going to pass through this loop. And in that loop, we're going to append it to a string, which we're going to put onto the screen eventually. So let's go about how you do that. So what we're going to do is get the row name here, because this refers to the row name. And we'll go get row, and we'll see get data table row. Make sure we choose the block data table from the drop down. And this outputs the out row here, which we can split and see the row name, ingredients, and so forth from that. So the name here is what we need. So we're going to take the name and call it to string. And we're going to append to this add pin, leave that as a space, and then here we'll do X, and then add another pin, and this D will be the array not array index, sorry, the value that we get from our map here. So drag the block recipe out. In fact, we could just use this one here, and we'll get value. Find, and plug in the array element, and this will now go into D. So what that does, it does the ingredient name, so it comes out like wood, for example, put a space, then X, and then a number. So it looks like you need wood times 3 times 4, whatever it may be. And that'll build that string up. So we have this string here, and I'm going to store this as a local variable. So promote that to local variable. And we'll call this one L underscore current string. And that will play on to row found. So for each of the ingredients, we're getting its data and building the text form of that data, okay, visually showing it like so. We're then storing that into a local variable here, because then we go round again to the next row, we're going to append something else to it. So here I'm going to add another pin and put in a comma. So this will add a comma, and then also put in a space as well. So comma, space, hit compile. So then next time it comes around, we're going to do the exact same thing. So it's going to come around and do it a second time around to like steal whatever it is, builds a thing here, and then instead of going into set here, we're going to do append again. So we're going to drag count string out, append this value, and hit compile. And that's it. So then we go back to our event graph, and we're going to drag our build ingredient list out here. And what I'm going to do is make it output that string. So let's go back in there, and on completed of this for each loop, we'll do return node. And we're going to drag our local variable L count string onto it. So now output that. Just going to rename it so it makes a bit more sense. So we do recipe string and hit compile. I'm also going to make this thing pure. So click on pure in the details block here, and that makes it a bit easier for us to use because it's just doing data collection. So we can use that to plug it into here to convert to text. So that should work. Okay, so we'll test that in a minute. And then make sure that these are exposed on spawn, so we can plug them in when we spawn these dynamically in our menu. So we can close that now, go back to our menu, and let's remove what's currently in there, because we're going to make it dynamic. Go to your graph, and we're going to do the event pre-construct here. And we're going to do a get data table rows, row names, and choose our block data table. On the out row names, we're going to drag that out and do a for each loop. So this will get every single block that's in that data table. Then we're going to go from here and get data table row. Again, choosing the correct data table from the drop down, and then splitting the out row. On row found, we're going to create widget, and we want to choose the build button. So now you should see the block name, block description, and block recipe all come up through here, and we just link these all up. So thumbnail there, recipe there, and description there. So that's going to create the button. We now need to add it to our menu here. So we need to go back to our design view, click on the scroll box, and make sure your tick is variable. And we'll name that one scroll box. Or just build block list, we'll call it. There you go. And on the graph here, because it's now a variable, it should show up here on the left. So what that means is I can drag it out, choose get, and then add a child to it. Plugging that all in, including the return value into it. Meaning that once we created the button, it's now going to be added to our widget here. Hit compile, and let's see how that looks. And there you can see we've got our two blocks, and you can see the description coming through just fine. What we need now is to make it so we can actually see that recipe. So on the build button here, let's take a look at what we're binding to our recipe list here. So we've got block recipe text is a text object reference. So recipe text here is at the end here. So we should see it over here on the right hand side. We should. So what's gone wrong here? Let's have a look. Okay, so the issue was I accidentally chose the wrong data table in my build button ingredient list. So instead of block data, we need the item data, obviously, because we're checking the item names on the ingredient list, not blocks. Silly mistake on my part. So let's replace that with an item data table. Right click, split the out name, and plug that into append. And block recipe will now drag out from our own variable list here and into the find. Hit compile, and let's test this out. So now when I push play, I can see wood times 5 and wood times 10 and metal by 4. So the next thing is we need to make it so when we click on it, it actually does what it was doing before. And so we need to go back to our build button and add the block class to it as well. Now the block class, I forgot to add to the data table. So we need to go into the data table to get that. So let's go into the data table for that. And that'll be the block data table and the block structure. In the block structure, we're going to add a new variable, and that'll be the block class. So I call it block class, and we're going to change that to be block, and we'll do placeable block class reference. Save and close that. Then on each of these, we're going to change the class here. So this first one here, block class, we're going to change to test block. And still block, we do test block as well, because that's all we've got at the moment. And hit save. With that done, we're going to go back to our build menu content. And where we're doing the loop to build the buttons, we now got block class as no option. I'm going to just drag that across from our data table data to the widget data here. If you don't see the block class come up as an option, just turn it back off to none and then back onto build buttons, and it should be fine. So now let's test this out. Here, tab, click on this, and now I can place blocks again. Perfect. So in the next episode, we'll make it so we actually spend these resources. So this actually costs 5 wood, actually take it out of our inventory here, and then check if we actually have the wood to actually build. If we don't, then this will be grayed out and unavailable to us. So join us in the next part right now over on patreon.com/RyanDaily. Big thank you to all my patrons and YouTube members for their continued support. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or suggestions for future content, leave a comment below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.